Hello students, welcome to the world of science. In this video we are going to see 10th Science 2 lesson number 6 animal classification, second lecture. Myself Kavita Kobane from Gokhale Education Society's English Medium School is going to present this to all. First we will revise what we have learned in lecture number 1. In that we have learned criteria for new system of classification, first grades of organization, body symmetry, germ layer, body cavity, body segmentation. We will start with the subkingdom non-chordates, first phylum Porifera. They are also called as sponges. They bear numerous pores on their body. These pores are called ostia and oscula. These animals are always attached to substernum, hence do not show locomotion. Hence, they are referred as a sedentary animals also. Pore means hole, fera means bearer. So the name is Porifera, means the organisms bearing the hole. Mostly they are aquatic and some are found in fresh water. In Porifera, cells do all functions, no tissues, no particular structure. So they are asymmetrical. You can't divide it into two equally half parts. Their size varies from 1 centimeter to the huge one of near about 10 feet long also. Sponges have endoskeleton-like structure which gives structural support. It is made up of calcium carbonate or silica. Extended portion of skeleton is called as a spicules which help the predator to. Pores on body is called ostia. Single spore is called ostium. Ostia open in a large body cavity called a spongocoel. These animals feed upon small organisms taken in their body along with water through this ostia. Water is taken in through this ostia and given out through the osculo. It is a opening. These animals reproduce by budding, an asexual method or bisexual method also. Besides, they have good ability of regeneration. They can just break down into small segments, and these segments they get divided and they can regenerate themselves. Examples are cyclone. Next phylum we are going to learn is Cnidaria. In this spelling the C is silent. It is also called as Coelenterata. Coel means cavity, entron means intestine. They are of two types. Polyp means cylindrical and medusa means umbrella-like shape. Polyps, they are attached to solid support. So, they are stationary. Hydra is an example of polyp structure, which is cylindrical, which is having a single opening and a gastrovascular cavity. They have tentacles. Cnidoblast bearing tentacles are present near the mouth. These tentacles are useful for capturing the prey, whereas cnidoblast inject the toxin in the body of prey whomsoever they attach. So those are useful for protection too. These organisms are diploplastic, means which consist of endoderm and ectoderm. These organisms are radially symmetrical. It means that if cut passes through the central axis, it gives two equal parts. In given figure, you can see here that from the axis, if the axis passes through the central point, central axis, then this can be divided into any of the plane and into two equal halves. Examples of Cnidaria are Hydra, Physalia, jellyfish, corals, etc. Next phylum we have to learn is Platyhelminthes. Platy means flat, helminth means worm. So flat worms. See in the figure, we can see the liver fluid which is called as a fasciola, which is present in your human liver, that is endoplasm. parasite. Body of these animals is slender and flat like a leaf or strip. So that's why they are called as a flat worms. They are mostly found in sheep, goat or a cow's meat. If it is not cooked properly, then it may enter in our body and get stay in our liver. These organisms are bilaterally symmetrical, means through one axis we can divide them into two equal parts. They are acoelomate as they don't have the body cavity. It means body cavity is absent in these type of animals. Tapeworms. Next example is tapeworm, which is present in our intestine. They are having the hooks and sucker through which it get attached to the wall of the intestine, and through that they are just absorbing the nutrition from our intestine. These organisms are triploblastic. It means it consists of ectoderm, mesoderm, endoderm, and no body cavity is present in their structure. Examples of platyhelminthes are liver fluke, planaria, tapeworms. These are the examples of platyhelminthes. Next phylum we are going to learn is Aschelminths. They are also called as Narmatoda. It is a Greek word which actually means a thread-like structures. So in this the organisms are having thread-like structure. Example of Aschelminth is roundworms, hookworms, pinworms, loa loa that is eye worm, Ascaris that is intestinal worm, filarial worm. These animals are triploblastic. It means it consists of ectoderm, mesoderm and endoderm. So three layers are present, so that is triploblastic. It also consists of pseudocoelomate. So that's why they comes in pseudocoelomate category. See the picture of Ascaris. In this you can find mouth, pharynx, excretory opening, intestine, uterus and anus. It means these type of organisms, they show the organ system level of organization in this phylum. These organisms are also called as a roundworms. If you see the circular cross section of these organisms, they are in round shape. That's why the name given to them is roundworms. See in this image, a worm from the Aschelminth phylum enters in our body and affect our body parts very badly. Here the disease caused by this worm, that is Wucheria, is filariasis, or it is also called as a elephantiasis. Because of these worms, the body part gets swollen like a size of elephant. So the disease name is given as elephantiasis. Worms of Aschelminth phylum, they are either free living or endoparasite. Free living animals are either aquatic or terrestrial. Examples of Aschelminth organisms are roundworms, hookworms, pinworms, filarial worms, etc. Next phylum of non-chordates kingdom, subkingdom is Annelida. These animals is long, cylindrical and metamorphically segmented. They show the characteristics of triploblastic, bilaterally symmetrical and eucoelomate. Triploblastic means 3 germ layers, bilaterally symmetrical means we can get 2 halves, and eucoelomate means it is showing the body cavity. Here see the examples of Annelida, earthworm, leech, nereis. Most of the animals are free living, but few are ectoparasite. Free living animals may be marine or freshwater dwellers. They have seta or parapodia or suckers for locomotion. In nereis, you can just see the parapodia, small hair-like structures. They help in locomotion. Their body is covered with a special cuticle. These animals are either hermaphrodite or unisexual. Body of these animals is long, cylindrical and metamerically segmented. In the picture you can see the segmented body of these organisms. Our next phylum of non-chordates is Arthropoda. The split of the word is arthro, pods. Arthro means jointed appendages. So these animals have jointed appendages. We can say the animals which can creep, crawl and fly. All these type of animals comes in this category only. Planet Earth has highest number of animals from this phylum only. Hence, this is largest phylum with highly successful animals in animal kingdom. These animals are found in all types of habitats ranging from deepest ocean to highest mountain. In this figure you can see the animals, those who are living in earth, in water and those who are just flying up in the sky. Now we will see the characteristics of their body. First one is triploblastic, means they consist of ectoderm, endoderm and mesoderm. Second one is ecoelomate, means they are having the body cavity present in them. And the next one is bilaterally symmetrical, means their body parts can be divided into two halves. And one more is that they are in segments, maybe two or three segmented body is there. These animals have the chitinous exoskeleton around their body. Chitin, it is a type of sugar or a glucose we can say. Chemically, it is similar to the plant cell wall of cellulose. These organisms shows the open circulatory system. Blood does not flow in a definite blood vessels, but rather than the body tissues and organs, they bath in that blood. All are free to move in that blood. These organisms show two types of reproduction, that is two modes of reproduction. One is viviparous, they directly give birth to the young ones, and the other one is oviparous. It means by laying the eggs. In the given picture you can see the crab, it has laid a small crabs and the butterfly is just laying some eggs. Next phylum of non-chordates are mollusca. The examples of mollusca are octopus, bivalve and snail. Now the characteristics. Body of these animals is soft and slimy, hence they are referred as molluscus. And this is the second largest phylum in animal kingdom. These animals are aquatic or terrestrial. Most of the aquatic molluscus are marine, but few are freshwater dwellers too. These animals are unisexual. Body of these animals is triploblastic and eucoelomate, non-segmented and soft. Except animals like snail, their body shows bilateral symmetry. Their body is divided into three divisions like head, foot and visceral mass. In the figure you can see the visceral mass. Visceral mass is covered with mantle. This mantle secretes a hard calcareous shell. This shell may be external or internal or even absent in some cases. In rainy season, you must have saw the snail and above that the visceral mass is there. Inside it, some of the organs are working out. In the picture, you can see the heart also and some of the tubes are there. It is attached to it. Next phylum is Echinodermata. The splitting of it is echino means spiny and dermata means skin. So the animals, those who are having the spiny skin, those animals come in this phylum. See in this picture, that is the spino-exoskeleton or the skin of a animal is shown in this one. These animals shows the following body characteristics. First one is triploblastic and coelomate. Here three germ layers we can find it out there and the body cavity also. Second one is radially symmetrically. Okay, so you can divide it in any of the plane in two equal parts. Next one is organ system level body organization. Here you can see different organs are doing different types of work. We can say radial symmetry in the adult stage and bilateral symmetry in a larval stage. They perform locomotion with the help of tube feet. Tube feet are also useful for capturing the prey. Some animals are sedentary. There are near about 7,000 species of these phylums are available. They have skeleton made up of calcareous spines or ossicles. These animals have good ability of regeneration. These animals are mostly unisexual. Example: starfish, sea urchin, brittle star, sea cucumber, etc. Last phylum of non-chordata are hemichordata. Bodies of these animals are divided into three segments or three parts known as proboscis, collar and trunk. Here the examples of for hemichordata are given, that is the balanoglossus and the cecoglossus. In the images you can see the three parts. Second point is notochord is present in the proboscis region only. That's why they are called as hemichordate. These animals are mostly marine animals and they live in burrows in sand. So next one, that is they have one or many pharyngeal gill slits. They are unisexual or hermaphrodites. Okay, these animals are also called as acorn worms. Thank you students for watching this video. Stay home, stay safe, take care of yours, and we will be meeting soon in the third lecture of this chapter. Hope you all must have liked this video and you must have understood it very well. Goodbye to everyone.